I'd like to call to order the regular meeting for Lafayette Township Board of Trustees and Fire District. It's August 7th, and it is 7:03 p.m. The notice requirements of Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code and the implementing rules adopted by the board pursuant thereto were complied with for the meeting. Roll call.
O'Neill here.
Warcola here.
Fullerton here. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up, last meeting minutes to be approved. Has everyone had a chance to read them,
Yes.
I have.
change them?
I've sent edits.
Okay, all right. I would move to approve the last meeting, which was a special meeting, July 10th. Second,
That's the ones with Chris's edited comments, correct?
edited comments.
Yes. I'd second that.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, minutes are approved, July 10th. Consent agenda, has everyone had a chance to read all the reports?
Yes.
Yes.
Any concerns, questions?
No, sir.
Nope.
Someone want to move to?
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda for fiscal report, fire district report, police report, service department report, and zoning report.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right. Laura, fiscal, is there anything not on your report or anything that you want to bring up?
No, sir.
Okay. Service.
No, sir. Everything's on my report.
Okay, everything's on your report. I do want to bring up a couple things in service. Nothing that we need to vote on, just for informational. Well, no, I take that back. I do want to, we need to buy 8 drive tires for the 2 big trucks. Rick did get a couple quotes, and the lowest is Gateway Tire here in Medina for $4,200. The tires that are on there now are not going to be good for winter.
Oh, it was bad. Very bad.
I would like to move to approve that. Get a second.
I'll second.
I'm assuming it's the $4,200.
$4,200 to Gateway Medina. Yeah. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. $4,200 to replace 2 sets of drive tires. Lake Road, Downing Chippewa, and First Street and Second Street are gonna get new water lines next year. So they'll be tearing up the roads, and Medina County Sanitary will be putting the roads back the way they got them before the project. They have been down there doing a little bit of work, probing, trying to find the water line itself. Apparently, there's a 2-inch water line that keeps failing, so they're gonna bring it up to spec, which is an 8-inch water line. Yeah, big difference. But that's gonna happen sometime next year, so just to let everyone know. We'll let you know as it gets a little closer. Rick's been doing a lot of homework on possibly, for us to replace a truck. And of course, trucks are over a year out by the time you say, yes, I want to order them. So he's been doing extra work. And through the Ohio or ODOT state bid, R&R Mac has the bid for the specs that meet ODOT and also meet requirements that we would like. I'm just gonna rip off some numbers. They're fairly general, but I just want to let the board know kind of where we're at on that. So the chassis itself these are approximate, $130,000 for the cab and chassis. To outfit the truck with everything that we do need is $110,000. And we're guesstimating right now off of Gov Deals that the truck that we want to replace could fetch about $115,000. That's what the spreader and the blade. I wouldn't want to strip the truck down. It would just deface the value of it. So try to get as much as we can for it. And if we use, and this is all hypothetical, if we use $70,000 in ARPA money, it would cost the township around $55,000. But I just want to bring that up to the board so they can do their due diligence. The truck right now is 11 years old. By the time we would get it on our property, it's going to be 12 years old. So,
If I could comment a little bit on that, Ty?
yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you look at the trucks, unfortunately, Rick does a great job of making them look really pretty. So even the plow and the spreader they're on there now look like they're almost brand new. Fact of the matter is that an 11-year-old plow at that size has got a tremendous amount of weld fatigue. I spent 15 years at Meyer working snow plows. I've seen it all. I would not, it's not like it's gonna fall apart in a year or two, but it is definitely gonna start taking more and more maintenance requirement. The spreader on the back, again, it looks great, but the working components on it are probably about shot. That's about the most harsh environment you could ever have a piece of equipment in. And I did talk to Rick. I'm going to try to work with our spreader group out in Illinois, who makes under tailgate spreaders, which is what we're going to put on this, to see if I can get us something, if not as a demo, at least maybe at an at-cost basis to save us more money on that.
Good. Good, thanks. Chris, anything?
No.
Okay. Another project Rick's working on is, I think last month we had talked about we're wanting to pave Coon Club Road, not next year, but the following year. So he got two engineer estimates for that, two different types of material, both asphalt, but one's a 405 chip and seal. Right now, they're saying around $293,000, and then we got another quote for a different material. It's a 402 chip and seal, and that would be around $361,000. The 402 is, I want to say the design's fairly new. The county had done a couple roads this year with it, so Rick and I will drive around and look at those roads in the spring to see how they lasted through the winter. But here's a project too that we're going to apply for OPWC money next year, and hopefully we can get it to help out with that. So just letting you guys know that we're still doing homework on that. I did receive the dedication plat from the county for Main Drive. As you all know, that was paved last year. They did Euclid up to the bridge this spring. They're going to come back this fall and put the second and final layer on. Once the job is totally complete, then we'll get the dedication to the township. But the drawing is done. All right. More from the county engineer, which has really been helping us out. Chrissy is one of the inspectors. So she went out to do Fairway Landing Phase 1. It's a 2-year maintenance inspection, and a fair amount of red stuff, not horribly terrible, but the ones that I wanted to bring up to you is some of the cracks in the road. Naturally, they're control cracks. It needs to be rerouted and sealed. Some of the sealant, that black that fills the cracks, has pulled out, so they'll be replacing that. But the concerning one here to me is the same thing that we made Ryan Homes replace in Wedgwood. They're still allowing big heavy trucks to back over the curbs with nothing behind the curb, so it broke off. So now the concrete contractor's gonna ask Ryan Homes to pay them to change it out. But here again, it's a patch, and I just don't like patches. Well, it really bothers me. But, so I do want to have a sit-down meeting with the county engineer and try to be a little more proactive on this. I mean, the contractor, Trimore, did a phenomenal job. The road is just just perfect. And then one section of the curb's all demolished, so, anyway, so we'll keep you tuned to that as well. Another thing we're gonna have to vote on in the next month or two, but I'll just hand out the resolutions now. This is the Westfield Township Resolution 2020-08. It's coming up due the end of this year. So if you guys can do your due diligence on that, we can talk about it next month or the month after, but it's coming up. That's all I have for roads service.
Ty, to keep the minutes a little bit cleaner, can you include copies of those?
Yes.
So that way we don't try to track all the numbers and,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Fire. Chief. Yep, oh.
Right. It's a new report you guys are looking at. It's all based off of ESO. It's a new reporting. This is software we use for our reporting, but this whole report is now generated from that software. 73 incidents as of July, or for July. 3 were in Guilford Township, 1 dispatch error in Hinckley, 53 in Lafayette Township, dispatch error in Medina Township, and Chippewa Lake we had 5, Gloria Glens we had 5, Village of Seville we had 1, Westfield Township we had 3, in York Township we had 1. 78% of those were EMS calls, and the others were most fire calls or good intent calls. Some were, again, dispatch errors. Our out-the-door time on this report, it's inaccurate. It's 1 minute and 47 seconds. This new reporting system got a flaw, and I've got an email that they responded back to it and said that our timeout is 1 minute and 47 seconds. We're about on scene about 5 minutes and 28 seconds to be on scene, which is 1 minute and 47 out the door. I'd like to see that a little bit better. So we'll work with our crews to do that, and 5 minutes on scene is pretty great. It's a national standard, and that's a pretty good time for a fire department of our size. So, automatic aid was given to Westfield Township. Mutual aid was given to Medina Township. Automatic aid was given to Guilford Township. Automatic aid given to Guilford Township again, and mutual aid to Lafayette Township. We received it once. Gloria Glens, we received mutual aid, received mutual aid for Gloria Glens, and automatic aid was given to Westfield Township, and we gave mutual aid to Guilford Township once. So. Currently, we're working on our boater safety course. We're all obtaining our boater license. We'll be scheduling a swift water awareness course in August for all department members, and 8 of those members are going to pursue the technician level course through EMA. Hydrants are all tested and completed. The new Redwood development we also completed. Thank you for the community that is out there clearing hydrants in the area. That's a big help for us when we arrive on scene and we can't find a hydrant. That's a big issue. So thank you. Tim Holzman, Chief Tim Holzman has been instrumental in getting these hydrants cleaned, and he's been out there all day long sometimes in this heat, just spraying away, and he's a workhorse. So thank you, Tim. We repaired leaf springs on our tanker, we replaced them, and 2 garage doors were repaired this past month due to faulty installation, and we have a door that's out of service currently, and we're getting that fixed tomorrow. So our officers are going to tend to step up and lead course at Seville Fire Department. Author Fire Chief Frank Viscuso from Newark, New Jersey will be presenting. It's a great leadership course, and actually the public is welcome to sign up for that course as well. It's a great course to be at. I've read his book, a couple of his books, and they're awesome books. So, on Tuesday, July 17th, we participated in the Cross Point Community Church Youth Activity Day and utilized our department tanker to have a fun-filled water day with the community. We participated along with other county fire departments in coverage of the Medina County Fair. It was a great opportunity to showcase our talented fire department and meet residents of Medina County. And thank you for all who came out for the swearing-in ceremony on July 24th. And thank you to the Firefighters Association for putting such a great event together. We're currently working with Kelly Ott from the Ohio Bureau of Workmen's Compensation on a grant opportunity. And Rick Evans and I will be submitting this request in the next month. And for the board, I'm requesting we complete our physical exams from MedPro Group. It's a baseline physical exam for our firefighters. It's not a requirement, but it's a recommendation by the state of Ohio to have your firefighters just for risk assessment, and it's actually pretty good for our insurance premiums as well. And then we interviewed and conducted the interviews of 5 firefighters, and we've decided to hire 4 of them. Dr. Kelly Parker, she's an EMT. She's a retiring veterinarian, and she wants to pursue a career in firefighting, and she's going on to paramedic school in January, so we'd like to hire her. Austin Bruckman, he's a firefighter 2 paramedic. Pete Muha, he's a firefighter 2 paramedic, and Scott Powers is a firefighter 2 EMT. And I'd like to get the approval to hire those 4 individuals.
You've interviewed them all, Dave?
Yes, sir. Yep.
I would make the motion to bring on those 4 individuals.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Regarding Chief, the physical exams, is that annual?
It is an annual, it's not an annual requirement, but it is a recommendation by the state and by our insurance companies that we screen our firefighters on a yearly basis. There is a pre-appointment screening that all firefighters get. State physical exam from their physician saying they're able to do this job. But then that follow-on care is, this MedPro group is vital signs, some EKG testing and some breathing testing, and then a physician comes out to us and kind of does a 5-10 minute physical exam for each firefighter.
Is this a particular number of people, or is it?
So yeah, it's 128. I think it's 128, 50 for each firefighter, and then total would be 3. That's a quote that I have. It's actually in my folder back there. I can grab it if you'd like me to. But
No, I'm just trying to get an idea of how many it's going to
yeah, it would
equate
be
to.
30. It would be almost 29 at the current level. But
Okay. When was the last, are we current now on physicals for our members?
it's been since 2020, I think, or 2021. 2021. I'm sorry. Was the last time they did this.
Laura, are we looking good enough in our budget to handle these? I would make a motion to approve the $39.82 for the physical exams for our staff.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know when you check the fire hydrants, do you put a tag on them that you adjusted them?
No, we don't tag them, but we actually, that same program I was talking about, the ESO, which is our reporting software, we're actually putting each one of them into our software, and yearly we'll be able to click on, we actually schedule them, and then we can click on each specific hydrant or group of hydrants and say they've been tested.
Because the one across the street from me has not been tested.
Has not? Okay, I was told that they got all the, just before I got here, that they got them all done, so I'll talk to you after the meeting if that's okay, and we'll get your address and we'll make sure we get out there.
Because I go across the street and I clean it, make sure that it's all, no weeds or anything by it and stuff.
Okay, I'll check on that, thank you. All right, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Lieutenant Markham, police.
We had 362 total incidents last month. A few highlights. We had 10 welfare checks, 7 automobile crashes, 3 domestics, 3 disturbances. We assisted the fire department 51 times. We have an announcement that tomorrow night is our national night out at the Medina Rec Center. Lafayette Fire will also be there. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. Free hot dogs, police, fire, EMS vehicles, life flight, and many activities for the kids. We also have 2 new officers to swear in. Tyler Thompson he grew up in Medina. He's an Ohio State graduate. He also served as a captain in the military, and he's also a previous Medina firefighter. Dalton Weber grew up in nearby Grafton. He also is an Ohio State graduate. Both officers recently graduated from the police academy. They're both in field training. Their field training will last approximately 12 weeks where they ride with another officer. So if we could swear those guys in, and if you guys have any other questions for me.
Make this real easy. Thank you, Joel. There we go. Okay. All right. Now you don't have to remember what I say. Raise your hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
and the resolutions of Lafayette Township.
and the resolutions of Lafayette Township.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer for Lafayette Township,
I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer for Lafayette Township,
to which I have been appointed according to law and to the best of my ability,
to which I have been appointed according to law and to the best of my ability,
consistent with its contract with the City of Medina Police Department.
consistent with its contract with the City of Medina Police Department.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. All right. Guys, thank you.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant. Zoning, Alice, anything other on your report? Or
Just want to follow up on those 3 complaints from the last meeting. I have been in contact with the owner of the property on Lions Park, that he was totally unaware of the problem that those people were potentially creating. And he did go over and talk to him, and I talked to him today, and he said that he was going over there tonight to make sure. So he's trying to work out a way to further resolve it, but at the moment, he's making it clear to them they need to be. So, and the one on Lafayette Road, the health department sent out a second letter about the cleanup, and they have cleaned up some, and there's a way to go, and that's basically what the letter said. We appreciate you going this far, but you need to go a lot further, so they're following up on that. And our friends at 105 and 107 Euclid is turning into a potential civil lawsuit between the two. The one has hired an attorney saying that the people that 107 are abusing they're quoting pieces out of the zoning that don't really refer to them, but they're trying to say that it's a nuisance and they don't have the right to do anything on their property. Both parties have attorneys, and the Schwabs have already put up a fence and no trespassing signs. And again, in the letter that the attorney sent, from the Lee's attorney sent, he's quoting that the Lees are losing money from the rentals because they don't have use of that property. I mean, it's,
Because they don't have use of the neighbor's property.
yes, it's really kind of very sad, but that's, that's now a civil matter between the two of them. And documents have been forwarded to me, which I forwarded to the township so that you can see them and have them on file. I don't anticipate the township being involved, just an FYI, the two of them are now
Right.
having fun. So, that's all.
Did you gentlemen get these photos? These came in right before this meeting. One of the gentlemen down in Main Drive emailed them
I
to
didn't see
me.
them, though, if they came in.
They've got pictures of.
Lions Park time?
Yes.
Oh.
What did I say, Maine?
Oh,
Lions Park.
Is that with the fences, showing the fences?
No,
No,
they were
this is-
bringing in, looks like fill dirt and.
yeah, Rick and I drove down there today and saw all this
Well,
dirt.
that I'm not aware of, but
I don't know exactly when those were taken, but
Well, they were claiming it was damage to the road down there now, I think.
Well, that was before the chip and seal.
Okay,
Yeah, I repaired it before they chip sealed it.
okay.
But a comment that Rick and I did talk about today when we were down there was, we might have to take the excavator down there and push this dirt back, because if we get some gully wash or rain, it's gonna wash that mud right over the road.
yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be a problem, so yeah, I mean.
so what part of, is that?
That looks like
That's
it's
the Lions.
right in front of the.
Right on- that's the road.
camp.
Or is this Lions is what
Yeah.
you're, oh, I wasn't sure what street you were talking
I
about.
misspoke.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the neighbor, well, I don't know who's putting the dirt there.
I think that the neighbors that came last month to speak, I think they're taking pictures of the folks that are they living there? Did the owner say anything about that?
It's their trailer, or RV, he doesn't own that. He said that they were homeless, so he let them park there. He's not charging them, so he's not renting or anything. And I explained to him the issue that the neighbors were bringing up, which he wasn't aware of, and he said he did go over there, but I told him that he really needed to get that out of there, and he said he was going to try to get it out as quick as he can, but not sure if there's, the RV park is still in function down around 224 and 71, is it still?
Yes.
So I told him, I said, if that's all they have to live in, they could go down there. And I said, supposedly, the neighbors say they go to work every day and then come home and do things. And he said, yeah, but they're only working not very good jobs. Find him. But anyway, he's is very interested in trying to clean up the issues, and he told them, so we'll see how long it lasts. And in the meantime, he's trying to find, all three of them are trying to find where to put that it's legal. And the two men there are father and son, which is, I can understand why they're fighting after 2 beers. Just the joke. But that's about where we're at.
Okay. Again, right before the meeting, it looks like we might have, this is Palker Road again. Did you see him when Kathy brought him up? Looks like it's starting to emanate down from the house again towards the road, so what is our next best course of action?
Well, we can redo the process. It's an expedited process because of the short time frame. But it looks like you're gonna spend a lot of money. He's gonna keep doing it. If you're gonna try that again, I'd also contact the prosecutor's office and have them, try to have them initiate an injunction. So it's he's gotta be facing a stiff fine and maybe jail time if he violates it. He's just obviously gonna keep doing it. It hasn't even been, 2 months?
Just now, 2 months.
Yeah. But it is an expedited process, but all you do is gonna spend more township money
Right.
going in and cleaning it up again. and then he'll redo it again. If you get the injunction, the court can order him to clean it up, and then he would be subject to a fine and potential jail time if he violates the court order.
Would that be an injunction against the tenant, the son, or the
Both,
owner?
you name the tenant and the father. The father would have to be named because he owns the property. It's really his responsibility, but my recommendation would be that they name both, but it would be up to the prosecutor's office.
Okay.
But Bill, if we would do that, and they, with the injunction says that he's required to clean it up, I mean, we tried to do that before and he didn't, so if he doesn't, then what?
If it's an injunction, that's what I said, then you would take him in for contempt. The
Okay.
contempt could land him in jail or a fine.
Okay.
First time would probably be a fine in order to get it cleaned up. If he didn't do it, the court could jail him.
All right. And then, but eventually to clean it up, if we wanted to clean it up, we would still end up,
No, the court would order them to clean it up.
but I'm saying, if they didn't, then what?
You could, I say you could have a dual process going. You could start the process
Okay.
again to give yourself the authority to do it.
Okay.
But it looks like it's gonna just continue to happen again and again. So it'd be better to have it, and the court has, not these particular judges, but before, the court has thrown people in jail for continued violation of these things.
All right. So this thing, at what point, Bill or Chris, you've been on this project, I mean, when do we pull the trigger again and start pushing? Do we just start right away and say?
I recommend now, we
Now.
could go for the injunction now,
Yeah,
and
and you can start the process.
It's a matter how
The
often
same
you
process,
want
you
it.
send in the notice to the father and the son again, but you don't have to give them the same length of time. It's an expedited time frame.
do we have to notify lien holders on the property again and give them a 7-day?
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and check the
But the
statute.
injunction seems to be the.
The injunction would
next
be the
thing right
cloud,
now
would
to
be the real cloud.
I'd make a motion to give Chris the authority to work with Bill to get this process started and take it to the next step or the next step after that, whatever we need to do to clean this up once and for all and do the best we can to do that.
Yeah, I'll second that. Marty. All those in favor, aye?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, Chris. Got it.
I have one more question. Alice, on the corner of Palker Road, they recently put a culvert in, or we helped them put a culvert in, right next door to Kathy's house. I think they've had a tent there for a while, and they were supposed to be going for, trying to get a permit to have, what I understand is a prefab building going in. Is there any?
I don't know, I haven't received anything as
No,
far as
okay.
requests for any permit, so.
Okay. Now they have a camper or a trailer in there now. I don't know how
I
big
think
it
they
is,
got a
but
tent, I think, what?
both,
Both?
yeah. That's all I have for zoning.
What's the next step?
I think we should probably talk to them about getting out of there or finding a more permanent place, or at least a temporary permanent place until they can get their house.
Well, didn't the health department go out there and say it was all right? I mishear that, or what?
I don't know if they did. I don't know if they found any, hazardous situations or anything like that, but.
They're looking at something different than the zoning.
Yeah, it's.
Pardon?
They would be looking at something entirely different from the zoning.
Yeah.
They'd be looking, do they have a bathroom, do they have potable water, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera.
When winter comes, that is scary. But no, well, we can look into it.
Yep.
All right, good. Anything else? Zoning, Marty? Chris, you good?
I'm good.
All right, next is public participation. Anybody got any questions?
I got some. Bill Tacklet, 7001 Food Road.
Can you stand up, Bill, so we can all hear you?
Yeah.
Yep.
To get to the point, 3 years ago, I requested, I needed a culvert pipe replaced. I requested the township to install it, and was told that the township doesn't provide that service. And then last month, my neighbor is getting the culvert pipe installed by the township. So my question to the trustees is there a procedure? Is there how or when does this process get accomplished?
There's no written policy for helping with driveway culverts. It's kind of one of those unwritten rules that the township does help when they can. It isn't just this board, it's been several boards prior. When they have time to fit it in, they'll do their best to try to fit it in and help the residents on township roads. But there's no written policy on who gets them, who doesn't, you know what I mean?
So
stuff
that
like
option was never presented to me. So how fair is it for one taxpayer to get that service provided and another one not to? Is there checks and balances here?
Well, I would say no, because there's no written policy on it, so should there be one?
So, yeah,
I would
it
say
sounds like a
probably
Middle
so,
West
yeah.
system then.
Rick, can you recall that incident? How many years ago was that, did you say,
It was
sir?
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
It was January of 2020. I went and looked at my.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason it can't, I mean, we don't provide the actual pipe.
No.
You provide the pipe,
No,
but the labor to
the
put, to dig it.
township bought the pipe
Yeah.
for me at the
Well,
township's
yeah,
cost, and
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Right,
But I'm paying for a service, I'm paying taxes, and I'm paying for this
Mhm.
to get done, and here's my neighbor that's getting it done under the township's service.
so that
So
should be, we should be doing that.
there's gotta be some kind of
Yeah,
checks and balances here.
and we've done a
Yeah.
fair amount already. I mean, last year and this year, I mean, a couple is a fair amount. It's not very popular, but
But if that's something you want, yet something obviously you still want to have done.
No, I'm done, what's done is done.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I
already
paid for
done.
my
Okay.
service, my neighbor got it paid by the township, that's done. But my, I guess, proposal to the board is to come up with some kind of checks and balances, because we shouldn't have this. You shouldn't have one person getting the service provided and another person not.
I would agree, I've been here for a terribly long time, but longer than the other two guys here. I don't remember this ever having been an issue before, and I'm not saying yours wasn't.
Well, I would have never known it was an issue
Right.
until I can look out my bedroom or my front window and I
Yeah.
see my neighbor getting it done by the township. And just 3 years earlier, I requested to get it done and was told I couldn't.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, well, you heard my piece.
Okay,
thank you. Anybody else? Public participation. Podium, right?
Just to bring it up again, Justin Paroli, 5637 Birchwood. Earlier this year, I asked the board about their intentions of doing a spending budget, to which the reply was wait and see, I think. And having watched or been at all of the meetings since then, it's been clear that no spending budget has been done. There have been fiscal budgets done to certify the need, how much taxes the residents are going to be billed for to support the activities of the board, but no forecast on budgeting. Perfect example actually came up tonight when Trustee O'Neill had to ask the fiscal officer if there was $4,000 in the budget to pay for the fire department to have their annual physicals done. And the reason I bring this up is because at the time that I asked you about the spending budget the last time, I brought up Fire Department Fund 3101, which is the bond retirement fund. And as we all know, that's the levy that was passed by the taxpayers to fund the building that we're in right now. And that fund can only be used to pay the loan on this building. That note's due every December, runs about $425,000 to $450,000, somewhere around there. I'm sure Laura can correct me if I'm wrong on those numbers. But the reason that's a big deal is because there's been over $500,000 sitting in that fund since the beginning of this year, and we're paying interest on a $450,000 note that there's no reason that we haven't paid already. If we're worried about $4,000 to pay for physicals, why not save $10,000 to $20,000 in interest by paying that loan early? And you can't say you didn't know about it because I brought it up 3 months ago, 4 months ago now. So I'm just curious why there hasn't been a discussion around saving the taxpayers some money and paying this building off ahead of schedule as was promised when the levy was passed originally.
make any comments on that?
I've got no comment on it, no.
Chris?
I don't know what the history is of the payments going in December, but is there any preface as to why that's been the case so far?
No. Not since I've been on board.
It's a valid question. I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, we pay interest on June 1st, and we pay the note in December typically.
Right, but I'm sure the interest is calculated based on average daily balance throughout the year. So paying it early would save the township a considerable amount of money, correct? And you guys have heard me bring this up before, right?
I've heard you bring it up. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, anybody else, public participation? No, okay. Rick's gotta be at the town hall at 5:30 in the morning. You wanna just take off, Rick? We're done with service.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks for opening it up for the voters. Next up, correspondence. Marty, do you have any?
I've got nothing new.
Laura?
Do you want to talk about the service, or do you want me to?
The notice.
Oh,
The
It's a big
The
leave
Board of
out.
Zoning Appeals did get, have a case filed against them by, I think it was, I can't remember the name of it, Bauer Architecture and IEA Properties. It's regarding the property behind the Dollar General. There was a BZA hearing last month, early in the month, and the Board of Zoning Appeals, with a 3-2 vote, voted to deny the variance request. So, I mean, I think the process went fine, but the appellates are appealing that to the Court of Common Pleas, I believe, right now. So that's what, and I don't know what the next step is actually going to be or what the outcome. That came in last week.
okay. Anything else?
Not from me.
Okay. Laura, did you have anything else?
Nope.
Marty?
Nope.
All right. I do have,
That's under correspondence, right?
yeah, correspondence, yeah. I did want to bring this up. I think this is a big deal. The OTA is Ohio Township Association. I'm just going to read this short paragraph. But the OTA Leadership Academy 2.0 graduates first class. Academy graduated 17 township leaders across the state for the new 2.0 program. And it was created exclusively for Ohio Township Association members that are looking further to hone in their leadership skills in their own communities. And they had to be graduates of the Leadership Academy 1.0. These 17 township officials and employees were part of the inaugural class dedicated to honoring or honing the critical skills necessary to support the needs of the township and shift focus from day-to-day managing to long-term strategic approaches to their positions. And I want to congratulate Trustee Warcola for being one of those graduates. Good job, Marty.
It comes with a big raise too, that was a little. It was an interesting program. It was a 13-month program. It was done both down in Columbus as well as online with a variety of different speakers and interactive activities and projects. And it was pretty cool. It was very nice. It was a very, very nice setup. Very nice setup. The township was gracious enough to fund I believe it was $100 for the program. But it was, I learned an awful lot from it. An awful lot from it.
Well done. All right, next, new business.
Yes. And right on the heels of this new leadership program that I've gone through, I'd like to talk about trunk or treat. It's kind of one rolls right in the other one. We didn't do one of these last year. We've done these in the past, and what I would like to propose is I was talking with Sherry about this a bit, And I'd like to set up and do another one like we had done in past years. And maybe even talk Joe into bringing his tractor and trailer up and doing hay rides again.
Oh,
But it was, for the years that we did them, it was always a lot of fun for the kids. We had a lot of attendees came up. It was fun. It kind of got pared way back during COVID from what it was when I originally started as a trustee for obvious reasons. But I think it'd be fun to bring it back around and maybe add some of the stuff we used to do that we can do back in. We would have representation from the fire department, a couple trucks. I had a group of therapy dogs came in to kind of hang out with people and that sort of thing. But I think it was a lot of fun. It didn't never cost a whole lot of money, and we have a good bit of stuff still from past years. There are games for the kids to play. We got a lot of volunteers from the township to come in. We had different businesses in the township offer to donate like candy for the kids and prizes and things. So with the approval of the board, I'd like to take this on as an event to have this year in October.
yeah, it's yours. But here's my suggestion. Can we have it at the fire department and
We could have it either place,
do an
yeah.
open house? People can come
Absolutely.
inside.
Absolutely. If Chief allows us to do it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't mind the sticky popsicles all over the place? Okay. Okay. Very nice.
All right, well, keep us attuned to that.
All right.
What else we got? New business?
I wanted to give just an update on our cleanup day. We ended up having 96 vouchers from the township residents picked up. Total, I don't know the tonnage of garbage that was brought in, but our total, I guess you do the calculation easy enough. We spent out almost $1,000 to County Recycle Center for residents who brought their stuff in. But it's a great way to get stuff out of the township and not be put into the ditches. That tends to happen at times, tires or an occasional washing machine. Program worked out really well. It was well received. It finished up the end of July, and I would look forward to doing another one of these again next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Anything else?
Yeah, one other thing, I wish I had caught Rick before he left, because he and I discussed this. In past years, through my association with the company I used to work for, I was able to get snow plows for our vehicles. I'm going to be able to get a new 8.5-foot V plow and a new expandable plow that goes from 8 to 10 feet for our two large, not our big trucks, but two of our larger trucks. Those will come to us at no cost. Bill, it's the same program we've done in the past. The only cost for us is to fill out a sheet after every snow event to tell the company how the plow works, if there's any problems. They take care of all the installation costs, all the maintenance costs. We don't have any of that expense up there, so it's basically 2 free plows for the township.
Wow,
Nice.
that's a home run.
It helps. It helps.
Very good.
And that's all I've got for new.
Chris, you got anything?
Nope.
I have 2 resolutions. We've been talking for the past couple months about ARPA money. And and we also talked about covering the salt bin that we just put up under that. But I would like to officially put it on record and move to adopt Resolution 17-2023 on the township side for covering the cost of the salt bin with ARPA funds. Get a second? Comments, concerns?
No concerns or comments?
None from me.
I'd second the motion.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same side, okay. Resolution 17. And I have another resolution, I'd like to move to adopt Resolution 18, Township side. It's our agreement for services between Lafayette Township and the village of Chippewa Lake, mainly for snow plowing. I didn't feel the need to change the hourly rate that we did last year. It was an honest number, and fuel's about the same, everything's kind of about the same, so I would make the motion to adopt Resolution 18.
Second motion?
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay. I'll make sure we get that signed, and I'll get it down to the village so they can run it in front of their council. I think that's it for new business. Old business?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody, Saturday, September 23rd, from 9 to 12 at the Township Hall offices, we will have our shredding event. It's like we've done in the past. It's, again, as we said before, a little bit nicer this year. You don't have to actually get out of your vehicle if you've got your stuff in the trunk. Pop your trunk open. We'll have people down there from the shredding company that'll take it out and dump it in the shredder, so you don't have to go out and schlep anything around. The other thing I'd like to bring up is from past meetings, we talked about doing some changes and updates on our website. We had some website crash issues that we were able to get resolved out and get those worked through. Minor issues, but nonetheless, they were issues. We've added some new things to the website. One of the new things we've added is road work. There's a section on the website for when we're gonna do new pavings, new culverts, the chips. That'll be added on with the approximate dates we think it's gonna happen. Understanding that if at the last minute that changes a day or two, we'll try to keep that as accurate as possible, but that's on there. And then from the zoning side, we are gonna start adding all of our zoning forms online. So if residents want to pre-fill something out, they'll be able to download a zoning form and fill it out. Sherry's working on a couple different ways to do it. One is you just print the form off and fill it out. That's the easy way. The easy way for us to do it. More complicated way for us to do it, but it's easier for the residents, is to have an editable form online. So you call the form up, you type in all your information, so you're not having to write everything in, and then you can just print it out and have it. We're going to go back and to make sure, some of the forms get kind of confusing. So what we're going to do, and this is the process, is we're going to go back online and have samples of each of the forms with an explanation as to what goes in what. So this isn't something that's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. It's going to be a process, take time. We're not going to just wait and dump them all at once. As we get one done, we're going to add it in and go on, add it in and go on, and expect it to be an iterative process. Again, it's not overly simple, but it's something we need to do, and I think it'll make it easier for the residents in general.
Very good. Good. All right. Any comments?
I do not have any.
Okay, good. All right. I would like to make a motion to break out to executive session pursuant to ORC 121.22 G1, hiring, firing, and discipline. And I would like to call into the meeting the 3 trustees, fiscal officer, law director, and Chief Kavanaugh.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call.
O'Neill, yes?
Barcola, yes?
Fullerton, yes. And the time is 7:57. back out of executive session. No decisions were made inside that executive session. The time is 9:45 PM. Either trustee have any comments or anything to make?
I do not have any.
Nothing at
I
all?
want air conditioning put in that room.
Too much hot air in there.
Got a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll
Pay the
second.
warrants, pay the warrants
Pay
of
the
the township
warrants
and
and
adjourn.
adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjourn. Still 9:45.
Did we sign everything we need to sign? The bets and all
Everything's
that?
signed, yes.